All right, what's going on, everybody? So in today's video, I'm going to be giving my prediction as to where the new Amazon headquarters is going to go. So if you haven't been following the news, Amazon is currently looking for HQ2 for the second headquarters. And I think they started with actually over 200 different cities that apply. They've recently narrowed the list down to 20 cities. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly which city it's going to be, as well as 10 reasons why. And just a little background on Amazon. So whichever city that they choose, they're going to be bringing over 50,000 high-paying jobs. So over 50,000 jobs paying over 100,000 each. And in addition to that, they're going to be investing over $5 billion just into the infrastructure of the campus and facilities and everything. And that's not even taking into account the ripple effect that any major development will have. So whether it's like a Whole Foods, a metro station, an Amazon campus, a baseball stadium, there's businesses and people that want to live close to that. So whatever city they choose, it's going to have a massive impact. Okay, so my prediction for where the new Amazon campus is going to go, the new headquarters, is Arlington, Virginia. And I'm a little bit biased because I grew up there and I still live here. However, there's 10 very compelling reasons why they're going to Arlington, Virginia. Reason number one, and this is probably the most important reason out of all the reasons I'm going to give you, and it's probably going to sound a little surprising. The Vegas odds currently have Northern Virginia as a top favorite. And something you need to know about Vegas odds, it's a billion-dollar industry. These people, they do this for a living. They're very rarely are they wrong. And that's not to say it's a guarantee or anything like that, but Vegas odds makers, when they're analyzing sports or where the new Amazon stadium is going to go, they take into account so many pages and of analytics and different factors and everything like that. I mean, they do countless hours of research to come up with these odds. So if Northern Virginia is a heavy favorite, they're probably not messing around. They probably know what they're talking about. And as far as Northern Virginia goes, so that doesn't necessarily mean Arlington is necessarily the favorite. The two locations in Northern Virginia that most people are talking about are Crystal City and Dulles, the Dulles area in Northern Virginia. Now, the reason I think it's going to be Arlington over Dulles is there's a couple reasons. Well, Dulles, it's too far away. You're about 45 minutes outside of DC in the Dulles area. And yeah, there's a lot of space and there's data centers out there. But Amazon, when they built their main headquarters in Seattle, they built it in downtown. And I just don't see Amazon going too far outside of whatever city they end up choosing. I think they want more of the, being able to walk to things, having more cultural things going on, but more of like an urban city, downtown type of lifestyle. So reason number two that they're going to go to Arlington, Virginia is that Jeff Bezos bought a house in Calorama in DC. And I know that's DC, that's not Arlington, but him buying a massive mansion that he's actually fixing up and renovating shows me that he's probably going to live in this area. And that would narrow the search criteria down to 3 different areas that are actually on the most updated list: Northern Virginia, DC, or Montgomery County, Maryland. Which brings me to my next point. So I'm not a small business or business expert, but as far as business-friendly states, that's something that Amazon is looking for. And from my understanding, I believe Virginia is probably the most business-friendly state out of those 3 states. So I know Maryland is probably the least friendly. You just don't hear about too many companies moving their headquarters to Maryland. And DC, I think DC is fairly business-friendly, but I think Virginia is the most business-friendly. Okay, so the next factor that's going to play a big role in their decision is being close to good transportation options. And I think Arlington is probably has the best transportation options, because if it was in Crystal City, you're going to be right next to DCA, Ronald Reagan Airport. You have the metro, you're close to highways, it's walkable, it's bikeable. You have a lot of transportation options. When you're in Maryland, you're a little bit further away from everything, and DC is just pretty congested. So I think when it comes to transportation, I think Arlington is actually the top out of those 3. And the thing with the Dulles area, it's just too far away. I mean, no one wants to drive 45 minutes from DC to Dulles. There is going to be a metro out there, but there's just not as good transportation options. You're not walking anywhere in Dulles. You might be biking somewhere, but it's too far out in the suburbs. Okay, so the next reason why they're going to Crystal City is that Amazon is looking for existing unused office space. And Crystal City actually has more unused vacant office space than I think anywhere in the DC area, which could be a great opportunity for them to purchase these buildings, maybe refurbish them, redo them, fix them up, and make them the headquarters. And to add on to this point even more, and this is a pretty interesting fact. So there was a real estate hedge fund that actually purchased, I think, like $10 million worth of shares in the JBG companies. And JBG companies own a ton of commercial real estate in Crystal City. And they even wrote a letter to shareholders saying, look, if Amazon chooses this as a location, our shares are going to skyrocket, basically. So this fund is already making, they already put a ton of money towards betting on Crystal City. So when someone moves around that type of money, they usually do it for a good reason. The next reason they're going to Arlington, Virginia is that There was an article, I think it was on Arlington Now or one of those websites, about Arlington winning an environmentally friendly award, which is something that's important to Jeff Bezos, being environmentally conscious and friendly and everything like that. They won this award and they noticed, I think the company, the journalists that published it noticed like an unusual spike in views. There was like 6,000 views or some really large amount of views in a short period of time. And they did some research and like looked into it, and apparently it came from some Amazon internal site. So it might have been people, working for Amazon, looking for the next location and really focusing in on Arlington. Okay, and the last couple reasons why Amazon is coming to Arlington, Virginia is that it meets their basic criteria for what Amazon was looking for in their search. Large population center, strong university system, and highly educated workforce. I've seen on different rankings, it's one of might be the highest educated county in the United States, if I'm not mistaken. And not only that, but the quality of life. I don't know how they come up with these quality of life scores, but Arlington, Virginia always ranks super high on quality of life factors. So given all these reasons, I think it's a lock. I think Arlington, Virginia is going to be chosen. I think it's going to be Crystal City, and it's going to happen in the next few months. Okay, so just to summarize this video, my 3 strongest arguments for Arlington, Virginia as the new headquarters. Number 1, the Vegas odds. So Vegas doesn't mess around. Vegas is usually right. And that should be the biggest reason right there. But number 2, the hedge fund or the fund that purchased over $10 million worth of shares in Crystal City real estate, specifically for Amazon moving there, and wrote a letter to their shareholders about it. And number 3, just the fact that there was an internal Amazon page that or apparently viewed an article about Arlington being environmentally friendly and having environmentally friendly policies and things like that, viewed by an internal Amazon page like tens of thousands of times. And then there's all the other reasons I told you about being close to transportation, quality of life, everything like that. So hopefully I'm right. They're going to be making their decision soon. So maybe I'll have to delete this video if I'm wrong, but hopefully it doesn't come to that. So please give me a like, please subscribe, please share, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.